Welcome back to Camping Adventures. I'm Jim Graham. Today I'm kind of going to go back and revisit the hammock strap suspension systems. I briefly touched on it on an earlier video, but I want to get a little bit more in depth with those. And these are just a few of the options that are out there, but these are the ones that I have in my tool belt. So let's get busy. Now with hammock straps and suspensions, I mean, it comes by many names, all kinds of stuff. You'll hear slap strap, daisy chains, whoopie slings, cinch buckles. You'll hear all kinds of things. And there again, you need to take some time to investigate each and every one of those to make, see which ones are going to suit you. But I'm going to go over the ones that I had the other day, and we're going to start with a rope suspension, which is a rope suspension / daisy chain. So we're going to start with the Snug Pack, which was the 550 cord and the nylon web sheath that went around it to protect the tree. So let's start with that one. Basically with the Snug Pack, all they've done is they've taken 550 cord, they've taken a certain length, they doubled it over, and then they ran it through a protective sheath so you wrap it around the tree. Now once you get it wrapped around the tree, all you do is just feed the other end through it and cinch it down. And then basically that's it. That's how it attaches to the tree. But what they have done is they've tied overhand knots down, creating little connection points. So that's your adjustability, is you just figure out where you need to be. Now with these, if it's something that doesn't quite fit, this knot's too long and that one's too short, but you need something in between, all you do is just tie another overhand knot right smack in the middle of it, and you adjust it by putting in your knots wherever you need them to go. So that is the Snug Pack suspension system. We'll now look at the Fox, which is very similar. It's just a heavier cord. So let me get that pulled out. Now this is the Fox Outfitters. It's the same thing. It's considered a daisy chain, but it's a rope suspension. And they've got knots tied in it. There again, if you need to adjust, fine-tune adjust, just tie another knot just like we did in the Snug Pack, and you make your adjustments that way. Now these are what were supplied with the hammocks that I purchased from Fox. I'm sure that they have other suspension systems available. It's just this is what they supply when you purchase the hammock. Now with the Eno slap strap, basically it's pretty much the same thing. You're going to loop around the tree, you're going to run through your loop, pull through. Now on the adjustments on these the slap straps, the adjustments are kind of spread out. So if your trees aren't exactly perfect, if you don't find the right setup, you may have to move around and find trees that work with your suspension. They're hardy straps and they're great. And of course, all you have to do is to clip, go ahead and clip in your hammock to it, and then find the adjustment on the other end. These were quickly replaced with the next one, which was their Atlas strap, which is a true daisy chain. Now with the Atlas strap, it is a true daisy chain. So as you can see, you have the different loops that you can clip into anywhere along that and you have two of these, one on either end, you have infinite adjustment to your, so this works out a lot better for your hammocks. And these are readily available online, and you know, in my case, a couple of the hardware stores around town. About $35 for the straps. They're actually, I like them. They're quite convenient. I use them quite a bit for various hammocks that I have. But yeah, the daisy chain, basically, you know, if you got a clip in here and that's too much, you just drop down to the next one, which lets it out a little bit, and so forth, so on, all the way down the end. So quite a bit of adjustability with the Atlas strap. Now, this next one is one I made for my Whoopie Sling, and it requires a couple of pieces. You got to have your Whoopie Sling, you got to have a toggle, and then of course the strap. And all I did was I took 15 feet of strap, I tied an overhand loop in the end of it, and I just feed into it. So now once I have it on there, and I'm ready to, you know, ready to go, and I figure out, you know, what length I want to set my Whoopie Sling at, I come in and I tie a Marlin spike hitch. So I create a loop over the top, flip it back on itself, run my toggle in between, and then I pull it. And that won't go anywhere until I pull this. Once I pull this, that knot slips out. So there's no big deal there. Then on the Whoopie Sling, you just figure out, you know, you take your end, and unfortunately I still have it wrapped up, so give me just a second to get it untangled or unwrapped. So you take your loop end, and all you're doing is slipping over the toggle, then making sure that you keep the Whoopie Sling, the Dyneema cord, on the knot. You're not putting it on the toggle, you're putting it on the knot, so that when you pull, it pulls on the knot and it tightens everything down. That is a very secure connection. Of course, the other end of the Whoopie Sling also has a loop in it, but it's an adjustable loop. Because on the Whoopie Sling, you feed the cord back in through itself. So you bring this loop in, you know, once you have the loop, you bring it around, you feed it back through itself, and then it comes out. And I have a real long tail on it, so it's quite adjustable. And all you have to do is just pull the center, and it pulls all day long. But then once you milk that berry, it's almost like a Chinese finger trap. Once you do that, it does not pull. It locks down and won't go anywhere. So this end goes to your hammock. So you clip into your hammock here, and then your adjustability is just right here on the rope. If I need to tighten it up, I just grab the rope, pull it, milk the berry, and that shortens the rope. If I need to lengthen it, I go to the other end, and I pull it and lengthen it. And this is called the Whoopie Sling. There's plenty of YouTube videos that will show this online. So please take your time to research Whoopie Slings. They're very easy to make. I made 2 of them in about 5 minutes. And this, like I said, this is one of my preferred suspension systems. So I use the strap, toggle, Whoopie, and the length of the strap that I have left over on this thing, I mean, I have quite a bit of adjusting. I could put the Marlin spike hitch anywhere along that run, giving me length away from the tree, and then the Whoopie gives me close to 20-foot adjustability off the end of the strap. So I can go between trees that are pretty good far distance apart. You know, so I can go from 15 feet probably up to 25, almost 30 feet in reach between trees. Of course, by doing so, the higher the strap would need to go up on the tree, you know, just to make sure that when you get it set, you're not dragging the ground. But that's my homemade, and I use this one quite a bit. Now the next one, it's already up, So I'm going to show it again. This is a buddy of mine, Parker, and I were brainstorming. Parker Sutler and I were doing some brainstorming. He had an idea for a cinch strap system, and evening of eyeballing and really looking at it, this is the final result. So what we did was we sewed a loop into it, then put a quick snap ring on it. So basically you just wrap around a tree, snap, boom, you're on there, right? But the neat thing of this is this is a very, 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 very long strap. So I have two 15-foot straps, which allow me to stretch out quite a bit. But the beauty of it is, and get right here, I spent the night in this thing last night, so let me get it where you can see it. Basically at this point, I have two rings that are connected to my hammock. So those two rings are sitting there, so you feed through and then back in and in between them. So for adjustment purposes, all you have to do is just pull it. And that'll raise, and then to lower it, you just have to loosen it up and let it slide the other way. So you can fine-tune adjust on this. But this is a very load-bearing, very quick. Now in this particular hammock, these straps stay specifically attached to the hammock. So I roll everything up, put it in the same bag, and I'm done. So that way I'm not looking for my straps in one bag and looking for something else in another bag. It's all in one place. But it's a very quick, simple snap together suspension system. Very solid. It's 1.5 inch polyester webbing, probably around 2,500 pounds breaking strength. So you're not going to break it. It's going to handle quite a bit of weight. All these straps are designed to carry quite a bit of weight. And I know, now that I've said that, let's go back to the Dyneema real quick. Now a lot of people are going to look at the size of this rope, and they're going to kind of go, oh my goodness, you're putting all your weight on that. Dyneema can handle up to 1,800 pounds. It's got about a 2,000 pound breaking point. You're still not going to put 1,800 pounds on that. I weigh almost 200, and it handles me with no problem. So Dyneema, don't let sizes and materials fool you. Plus, if you're a backpacker, this is a very lightweight way to go. If you're going to do the strap system, you don't need as much strap as I have on it. Cut it right there, because if you make your Whoopie Sling long enough that you don't need a whole lot of strap hanging on a tree, then that would weigh just ounces for a suspension system if you're a backpacker. I'm not anymore. I truck camp, so weight doesn't matter to me. But for those it does, just make some change. Make modifications to what you're seeing. So as you can see, there's quite a few suspension systems, and there are plenty more that I have not shown because I just don't own them or haven't had my hands on them yet. Just do a little research, check them out. Ask friends that do hammock camping. They may have other suggestions for you that give you more flexibility. So take the time to do the research. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Again, like, share, comment, and subscribe. All this helps grow the channel, but it also keeps us in communication. Until next time, I'm Jim Graham. You have a wonderful day.